now, in order to win more business and be more competitive, if you've got that repeat work and you can see a schedule for 6 months, well, what you do is you load them all on here, you press the button and you go home. You've got efficiency because you're running lights out, you've got efficiency because no one's standing here, but you've also got efficiency because it's right first time, so it's win-win everywhere, really. You can get like 10, 20, 30, 40, 80 components on there, and you can even probably run for a whole day and night and no one come near it. So that is actually when it sunk, and I thought that's where the business needs to go, because competitors are doing it, and if you don't do it, you will fall behind.
Paul, the latest acquisition then, the MX520. First thing, it's your first 5-axis machine.
Yeah.
So why have you bought it?
Well, essentially, 3-axis machines were becoming a problem for us in the number of setups we had to do due to the complexity of components. So 5-axis machine gives us that flexibility, the opportunity to reduce setups and turn around parts quicker for the customer.
A great example is straight to this component here.
Yep.
How many ops was it previously and how many ops is it now?
So initially it was 34 operations. We did a reduction exercise to get it down to 25, but then putting the new machine in place brings that down to 7.
Right.
So to put that into perspective, 5 of those operations are on other equipment or subcontract processes.
Right. So why have you bought Matsuura? Why have you bought the 5-axis?
So 5-axis predominantly because traditionally we had 3-axis machines and plenty of them, but we didn't have the flexibility and the capability we needed to make the parts that are being demanded these days by the customer. Matsuura, excellent machines, we've used them before. We had one here for 30 years.
Yes.
It was a very good and reliable machine. The service backup from them is excellent. Also, it's a very capable machine, and from a quality standpoint, it's very accurate as well.
Looking at Matsuura, you're thinking Rolls-Royce pricing. Is that true?
No, it's not, and you know it's okay. It's not the cheapest machine on the market,
Yep.
But it is very capable. And at the end of the day, I want a machine that's capable, reliable, and is going to be there. You know, having had 30 years out of the last one, you know, there's over 30 years, you can actually say it works out quite cheaply.
We bought this Matsuura MX520 in 2017. We bought it to undertake a specific job. It's done that job very well indeed, but beyond that job, it's let us machine all sorts of components from different sizes. One of the wonderful things about the MX520 is that it can machine from a surprisingly large billet down to any size you want to undertake at all. I think it's highlighted in the one workpiece that we've got on the machine at the moment, down to anything that you wish to undertake. It's very accurate, it's very fast. We bought the MAM very recently because it became obvious that you need to have a multi-table machine, so a multi-pallet machine I should say, so we can run lights out for much longer and we can offer far greater capacity to our customers. The MAM is a different beast. It's faster, it's even more precise, and we're able to offer so much more saving in being able to run into the night time. So quite stark sort of discovery, if you like, or visual representation was when we were utilising the RIM system for monitoring the loading of that particular machine tool, and be able to compare the run times versus a single table machine. It's an eye-opener of where the future lies in subcomm machining.
On your website, you state that you invested about £2 million in 2019. Pretty much all of that was in what we can see here behind us, wasn't it?
The blue machines, yeah.
The blue machines. What's it done to change your company, and why did you do it?
It was really the unmanned running. We do an awful lot of either production work or 20 offs, 10 offs, regular work. We had a 104 pallet system in before with 6 machines. It was getting old. We looked at the Matsuuras, completely new to them, and we bought one. And very quickly, we bought another 3. The components that we run on 3 of the machines, we're filling the whole envelope up. They are 5-axis. They run literally 24/7. I think the last productivity report that we had from Matsuura, from their software, it was running at about 97%.
and that's 24/7. And we got the bigger machine, which is the 63V, which is 18 pallets. But since we put a number of parts onto the Matsuuras, our scrap rate on certain critical parts have gone from about 3.5% to less than 0.5%. And that's down to operator. That's not down to the machine.
There's two things on buying a machine. There's the machine itself, which clearly you're very happy with. What about Matsuura?
They're great. You know, if I need something, they're here. I know the team. The MD's been here a couple of times. Support's fantastic.
The Matsuura is really at the heart of our aluminium prismatic section. It's making a wide variety of components at a very high rate of utilisation. And interestingly enough, we're making components on the milling machine now that in former times we actually turned. Now the advantage of that, of course, is that the machine can be cutting the component at 2 o'clock on Monday morning without an operator there, whereas of course if there had to be a lathe, then there would have to be a person there. So maybe the cycle times are a little bit slower on the turning, but of course if the machines are manned, then the efficiency is there. So that's been a real breakthrough. When I decided that we wanted to move down this road, we went to have a look at Matsuura. The style of machine that we're talking about here is really one that's got very deep roots. It's a progressive generation of the machine that's been in service for a very long time. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is really a world-class machine of this particular type. Very high levels of reliability, very high levels of people who, having bought one, will buy another. And by the way, I'm going to afford into that class too. Probably the same size and larger. Yeah, it's really the reliability and the fact that you really can genuinely get very high levels of machine utilisation out of the machines is excellent.